Hi everyone, it's me again. Finally, the chapter from My Hero Academia was released just today, and I've been waiting impatiently these 2 weeks. As you know, My Hero Academia, both the manga and the anime were on break, and I'm just so excited to finally see it back, especially after the last cliffhanger, which was pretty emotional. And as you know, the latest chapters from My Hero Academia have been beyond depressing, sad, but the last chapter was finally giving a little bit of hope, a little bit of light shining into Deku's world. And I'm so excited to talk about this, so let's get started right away. So the chapter begins, I guess, a couple of days after Bakugo leaves the hospital and returns to the dormitory, and he learns from his classmates and also the letter he receives that Deku has decided to leave the UA Academy. Of course, Bakugo and everyone in Class 1A is very concerned for Deku's safety. I mean, Bakugo knows Deku very well. He's just too much self-sacrificing, and he's just worried that he's gonna do something very stupid. And as you know, in the last chapter, we've seen how far Deku will go to save people. So everyone in Class A, they decide, you know what, we need to ask the pro heroes. We see that Tokoyami asks Hogs, but no response. Bakugo asks Genus, no response. And Todoroki, as we saw that he wanted to talk with his dad, he didn't respond either. So eventually the class gathers up together, and I guess they wait for a moment for Endeavor to arrive, and they kind of tricked him and push him that, hey, you need to let us know what's going on here. Of course, Bakugo starts complaining that, hey, leaving Deku and All Might act on their own is just extremely dangerous. As you know, All Might and Deku are very much alike. They're literally like the same person. The way All Might became the symbol of peace was to literally save everyone but himself. He was too self-sacrificing. He didn't even take into account his own health, his own well-being. And it just brings memories of Night Eye warning him that, dude, you need to rest. You deserve to rest. If you keep going like this, you're gonna die. And we see that Deku is doing right now the same thing. He's following All Might's footsteps. And of course, everyone in the class agrees because they know Deku too well, and also they care for him. They're worried about him. And I guess hearing all these students' words about how much they care about Deku, Endeavor agrees to get them a phone where they could contact Deku. Of course, Principal Natsu is within this conversation, and he tells Endeavor and everyone that, hey, just because Deku left the UA Academy, that doesn't mean he's not welcome back here. He's a student here. He got accepted here. Of course, and they were worries about the well-being of the civilians, but Principal Natsu tells them that they put an extra security barrier since the festival, you know, where all the classes did the music and all that stuff. So the civilians are well protected. So we finally turn to that scene where Bakugo saves Deku's life, and we see that everyone in Class 1A gathers together. After the civilians are free and they're thanking the heroes, we see Deku, he's on the ground. He can't even get up because he's just so exhausted. Of course, Deku is like, what are you guys doing here? Uraraka tells him like, dude, we worry about you. I mean, you don't even look fine. Deku, of course, is getting up and he's saying that he's fine. And we all know that he's not fine. Bakugo tells him like, dude, the way you're going, could you even smile anymore? Deku, I mean, he kind of almost evades the question, telling them that, hey, this is necessary for everyone to smile. But I'm like, is that really true? Is that the way for everyone to smile besides yourself? And we see that literally Deku starts threatening his classmates to move out of his way. I mean, he's literally ready getting the fight. I'm like, bro, are you kidding me? This is the part I love about most for this chapter. Class 1A doesn't back down. Even Baku was like, hey, bring it on, All Might imitator. I'm glad. I'm so excited for the next chapter because literally it's Class 1A versus Deku with his quirk one for all. So it's gonna be pretty exciting, and honestly, Deku kind of needs a beating from all of his friends and to remind him that he can't do this by himself because he's just insane. He's gonna end up dead before he could even fight all for one, and all this horrible madness has been going on in Japan. And the way the chapter ended, it brings me back to, you know, the second fight where Kachan and Deku fight to kind of resolve their feelings after, you know, All Might is forced to retire and Bakugo feels guilty that it's his fault that All Might retired. So it almost reminds me of this. And Deku kind of needs to understand that you can't take all of this on your own. It's just too much. And he needs to take into account that he's just a kid. But anyway, wow, that chapter was amazing. I'm just so excited to see the next week's chapter because I'm pretty sure things are going to get even more exciting. I mean, even the title alone for this chapter was called Friends, which is a beautiful title after the depressing titles for all these past chapters. We're finally seeing a little bit of light, a little bit of hope in Deku's life. And it's just so sad that Deku's just trying to move that light away because he's just afraid that if any of his friends stay close to him, they're gonna die or get hurt. I mean, he's still traumatized to what happened to Lady Nagan, and he just doesn't want that to happen to any of his friends, and especially All Might, which we now know that he had to cut ties with him because he really cares about him. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed this chapter. Stay tuned for the reaction for My Hero Academia for the season, well, the 5th season. I heard they're gonna do a filler. I'm a little upset because I'm not really a huge fan of filler episodes. In a way, it's almost like it could be a good sign or a horrible, horrible sign in anime. But anyway, yeah, thanks for watching, and I hope to see you then.